been doing this for fucking how many years? 10? It's all right. It's cool.
It is. It is.
Fluorspar can be an unpredictable city. Affluency doesn't mitigate its problems. In some ways, it amplifies them. This is why we're deployed. But we've seen better days.
Then why are we just now debriefing?
This mission is not complete.
I only know of her. Our lack of data collection is a problem.
Valdez, I'm aware of your investigative talents. Braxwell spoke highly of you, and that's why you're on this team. Local law enforcement handles itself very well. But there are those with abilities. Some believe themselves to be good. Others don't even attempt to act as if they are. Either way, we're involved. Not everyone will agree with our status. But that can be said for anything. May I remind you both, we're Alpha Core, and failure is not what we do.
What is up, everybody? We are now live, Rip and the Silverback, episode number 6. It does feel good to be back. This is one of my highlights. Each and every week that we do this, I have a fucking blast. Time flies. You know exactly how it is that we do. Of course, I'm joined with my co-host of the show, and believe it or not, this was not planned. This whole this whole thing was not planned. I did offer to change the shirt, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like, let's just fucking, who cares? Let's just do it. So here we are, matching. But man, seriously, man, how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing great. Yeah, last week we were talking for what 2.5 hours before we even got into the super chat. So yeah, this show just flows. It's great to do. It's talking about shit that we love, and that's what happens when you're talking about shit that you love, man. You just you could go for hours and hours and hours and talk all day every day 365. So yeah, I love the show.
Thank you for watching. Unbelievable. Yeah, big shout out to all of you guys that keep up with the show, man. Man, it's been a blast. Again, it's a highlight of my week. Before we get going, we have some stuff that we want to discuss that we kind of missed out on this last week that we want to get caught up on, talking about comics and all of that good stuff. Thanks to all of you guys. By the way, 20,000 books officially sold for Alpha Core, #1. So shout out to all the fans, all the supporters, all of you, man. We appreciate you. We are about caught up with fulfillment. So what that means is that if you are ordering like right now, your orders will be going out pretty quickly, because we've caught up and fulfilled so many items. A warehouse team, shout out to them. Those guys have been working incredibly hard. They're quick this go around. We're quicker, we're fully staffed, man. This is we're understanding our capabilities, and we'll have some future announcements about upcoming projects and all that stuff going forward. But Alpha Core number one, we do appreciate you. Also, Cover C only has actually has less than 1,000 left for Cover C, which is a limited item. So go grab that if you have not already. Again, we appreciate you. 20,000 books sold, and we have a month left. A month from today, the campaign will be closing. And we will then, after that, do I know Ash said he wanted to be a part of it. We want to do like a spoiler talk sort of stream. We'll get that lined up. We'll get that prepared and kind of discuss everything that is Alpha Core, since it will be appropriate then. So again, appreciate y'all, man. Thank you you all for the support. But again, one of the main topics that we want to go through, I mean, damn, I guess I kind of have to set the scene here.
Sure.
Because some people might not be in on it, right? Okay. So let's set the scene. Mark Millar has been vocal as of late about the state of the comic book industry, right? And being honest with it. I believe Mark is one of those guys that actually cares about the industry. Longtime veteran, one of the few guys in comic books that, you know, he can call his own shots. So he doesn't even have to take these positions because he is a millionaire off of his own properties. And so he doesn't have to do this. So I think that does speak to how genuine it is that he is. He's been talking about the industry, the lack of enthusiasm. And of course, he went to bat for Glenn O'Leary, who was a long time, I believe, almost 30 years of being a comic book retailer, who was saying and echoing some of the same sentiments that we all have about, you know, self-inserts and people writing in these characters or writing themselves to be these characters and people not wanting it. And of course, he's coming from the perspective of a retailer, which is who everybody buys from. And of course, the mainstream guys took issue with it. They took exception to it. I knew Mark Millar was going to be in trouble when he said good things about ISOM. They didn't like that then. But for sure, considering that he's being honest, he went to back for Glenn, had an honest discussion with him, has had some discussions on the stream with other retailers as well. You've had a lot of these weirdos, as they always do, try to start throwing them under the bus and so forth. And it's the usual suspects, right? And I love that Mark has called these guys cancel pigs, talking about how they don't have power and such. And Mark Wade, who would you consider him as like, I mean, is it fair to assume that he is like a big part of the problem with mainstream comics?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you go back to the history of Mark Wade and his sort of role within the industry and how he pretty much ostracized himself from it due to his behavior, his attitude, his tantrums, his psycho nature. There's no denying that Mark Wade, because we've got two Marks here.
Yeah, we got two Marks here. Yeah.
There's no denying that Mark Wade does have some writing talent when he either applies himself or when he actually is enjoying what he's writing. But he has also done a shitload of dial it in over the course of the 2000s. But yeah, I think he's blacklisted from Hollywood because he's just a psycho. He's just a absolutely loose fucking in the head weirdo. And yeah, it's people like your Wades who I think are trying to eke their way back into the mainstream industry. He's got himself a little gig at the minute, hasn't he? Doing a bit of Superman. So I think he's now doing the toe the line business. Whatever the mainstream wants me to say, I'll say. But I think when we go into what he said, I think it's very telling of the fact that this is a power struggle, not anything to do with talent, not anything to do with alt-right fucking far left bollocks. Because Mark Millar has been very clear that he ain't part of any group.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of Comicsgate. He's not part of the Iron Age. He's not part of mainstream. He's a a guy who's literally writing comics for free. The stuff he's making, he's not making money off. He's doing it because he loves the industry. And if you listen to what Mark's saying, and he's criticized both sides. And I think rightfully so. I don't think Mark has said anything out of order at all. He's criticized both sides, but it's very interesting the way that the mainstream have wanted to departmentalize him, wanted to put him in a box, wanting to put him as a comic skater or a something else or a this, so they can just treat him like they treat everyone else, because they know the guy's got power, he's got influence. They know he's pretty much untouchable within the industry. He can say what he wants. He calls his own shots, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to. He doesn't have to bow down. He doesn't have to bend any knees. He's made his money. He can stop today, and he'd be set for life and generations to come for his family.
Yep, facts.
So, this is a guy who's coming from pure love of the industry, and he's talking to people who are wrestling for power within the industry, and that's why they feel threatened. They feel their grip. They feel that somebody like him can wrestle that away from them.
Yeah, and again, he's in the position to where again he can call his own shots. He spoke about how he's not getting paid off of this. All of the budget that's designated for the comics that he's doing is going to the creatives that are part of it. Again, because he has put himself in a position to be one of the few guys in comics that can call his own shots, which is like why it was so funny when he said the good things about ISOM. You had people talking about I paid him, and I was like, y'all do understand he's one of the few guys that are like richer than I am, like in the comics. Like he's the superior in that aspect there. So it's highly unlikely that would be the case. But with Mark, and again, for guys that may not have been keeping up with the story, he took it to Facebook. Again, usual talking points, but this is where it gets interesting. He talks about this whole falling star rocketing, and clearly in this whole excerpt, if you will, he's talking about Mark, and it sounds a lot like a projection because he's talking about he's saying that Mark is doing this because his star is fading. When the guy's just killed it with Nemesis Reloaded. He's just killed it with Big Game. Yeah.
One of the massive, those two under the banner of Image as well, not even under the banner of DC or Marvel. He's now moving all his catalog to Dark Horse, which to me is a step up from Image as well. But it doesn't show that he's losing his grip. It just shows that it's cementing. It's still going. Now, Mark Waid, on the other hand, this guy is fucking hit or miss, ball or foul. I can't remember the last time Mark. If you want to talk about the last great thing that Mark Waid did, Kingdom Come, 1990, 6, 5.
And I saw debates or disputes happening. Like, what's that? Who sold that, Mark or Alex Ross?
Well, that is a whole nother debate. That's right. A whole nother discussion. How much did Alex Ross actually have to do with the writing aspect? A lot of people say quite a bit. Mm-hmm. He had quite a bit of influence over the writing aspect and should get as much credit for the writing as Mark Waid does, at least. So, there's a lot of discussion to have around that.
I know he's done some stuff kind of isolated, but a lot of and almost all of what he's done has been, I won't say almost all of what he's done, but yeah, I guess that's literally the case. He's known for what he's done. Again, not saying that he's not done anything outside of the big two, but that's his affiliation, right? That's where most, which is why it's such a weird thing that he's going at Mark like that, because Mark at least can say, yeah, he's done some stuff with the big two, but a lot of the stuff that he's eating off of, especially stuff that he's made millions of dollars off of, like the stuff he's doing with Netflix, the Millar World, that's all his stuff. Right. That's original properties that he created. Right. So, and that's not easy. I say this from experience. Right. It's one thing to, hey, you're doing Batman and Superman right now, two of the most prominent characters that you didn't create that have been around for 80 and 90 years. That's different from starting from complete scratch and building up a property. But the thing that got me, right, and I know you saw some back and forth here going on, was that comment that he was making about that he was saying in response to someone right here. And it's in response to someone who simply said, look, there are issues with the industry. Okay. And why is it that anytime someone brings it up, you get these guys that jump down their throat instead of us talking about solutions and actually trying to fix it? An indirect response. I mean, it was a direct reply to that. You see, we're showing you some of it from Steven. He's atting Steven, and this is what he said. I think a lot of us would rather just see the industry burn down than get together with the alt-right. Who the hell is he talking about?
Nobody. He's talking about, well, he's actually talking about somebody. He's talking about the customer base.
Yes.
But the mainstream industry despise their customer base so much that they now need to villainize them. They need to vilify them, and that's why they when your go-to is to call your customer base alt-right, you've already lost your argument.
Yeah.
It shows you don't have an argument at all. And Mark only started to beak up. Mark Wade only started to beak up when, after Mark Millar had done criticism about the industry, criticism about the comics, and actually trying to get good product onto the shelves. He mentioned the network. And of course, Mark was referring to the Whisper Network.
Of course.
And he said, there's a story to be had about the network. And he dropped a massive sort of hint that he knows everything that's going on with that Whisper Network. And we know who's involved in that. And who did they suddenly go to protect after that? Who did they suddenly try to shield? Gail Simone. They suddenly tried to shield her up. Why? Because she's a massive part of the Whisper Network, massive part of the problem.
Yeah, for sure. No,
so that's why you're getting Wade going over the top with his responses here. There's no alt-right.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. And nobody's asked him. Like, this is the fucking shit that just really gets me, because look, everybody and their mother knows that there is no conspiracy with a bunch of Klansmen walking around to try to take over comics. And on top of that, nobody's asking you to align yourself with. That's a no-brainer. But what happens is they love to do this language shit where he's clearly referencing everybody that speaks about the industry, right? And is honest about it, right? That's who he's talking about. And you get these disingenuous dickheads like that one idiot that lost a debate with me a while back saying, oh, well, he's just talking about the Nazis. There's nothing controversial. Like, we're not going to be gaslit here. It's not going to happen. We know who you're referring to. It's not actual Nazis because they don't exist, right? No. There's none of them okay, there might be 3 of them that exist. But I think the last thing that those actual Nazis are trying to do is take over comic books. I think it's like the last. It's like not on their list of things that they try to accomplish as actual Nazis. The 3 of them that may exist, right? So you have these idiots referring to a boogeyman effectively, but the reason why they use these terms, okay, the Nazism, the homophobes, the outrights, is because they want to feel justified in anything it is that they say and do to folks that may be on the opposite end of them on a given issue about comic books, because it's like, well, I'm just going at the evil people. So they it's a fake, it's a boogeyman. Effectively, it is an absolute boogeyman. But the gaslighting is the thing that gets me the most. I just wish they weren't so chicken shit and would just come out and say, we know who you're talking about and who you're referring to. Name names, right? And go ahead and go out on a limb and go associate that. I know Mark said publicly, like, I reached out to him and I told him to delete that shit, right? It's like, and again, I've said this before, the shit's not funny, like on a serious note, when you're trying to like liken people to genocidal fucking maniacs. I know it's become a term that doesn't mean anything when they use it, but just understanding what the attempt is to me, it's not funny, right? Because you're trying to destroy people's lives here, right? To associate them with something so evil.
Yeah, when you have to go to such an extreme, it means you don't have an argument.
Yeah,
that's what you're immediately saying to everybody. You don't actually have a legitimate argument here. You have no comeback, because if you engaged in good faith, you would have to bring up the fact that everything that these people are discussing is actually legitimate. That's the problem. You know, Tim Drake, Jonathan Kent, Aqualad, Wonder Woman, Cyclops, Wolverine, times 2 because of X-23 being Wolverine as well. All Jean Grey, Bobby, all of the, you know, you just go through Alan Scott over Batwoman. Batwoman was simply brought back to be gay, and that's all she's been. There's a massive legit criticism that once you do this to a character, that is all they become, because that's all you've wanted them to be.
Yes.
So Tim Drake is no longer a fantastic Robin. He's just gay.
Just gay now. Yep.
Jonathan Kent is just gay. Alan Scott is just gay. Batwoman is just gay. Aqualad's just gay. And the list just goes on and on and on and on. There's no character there anymore. There's no development. There's no progression. There's nothing. There's nowhere for these characters to go. And so what happens? You get cancelled after 10 issues. You get cancelled after 19 issues. You get your ongoing series turned into a mini series. And those are just the characters that you've superficially changed from a gender or a sexuality to another. Never mind the characters which they're trying to push, which just don't work. Harley Quinn, Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, America Chavez, Ironheart, just failure after failure after failure. Kate Bishop, failure. All failures. Going nowhere. What do they do? Cancel them, reboot them, push them, cancel them, reboot them, push them, cancel. Yeah, and just wasting everybody's fucking time.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we see the sacrifice of characters. Now we have the activists so comfortable with their destruction of the industry that they can set their sights on Batman and Superman and start to hint that Batman is inclined in other directions.
Yes.
Superman's running around fucking cheering on his now just gay son. That's all you'll ever be. So that they're comfortable with doing this, and it is so brand damaging. It's unreal. You get to the point where you've got a Flash movie out at the cinema that has Michael Keaton's Batman coming back after 3 decades. 3 decades gone. And you think to yourself, if you had the right story, you could create something massive here. You could do huge box office for this. And nobody went.
Huh?
Nobody went because there is such brand damage that's been done by the comic book industry, that's now being done by the TV and film industry, that all of these characters that were created for niche audiences, that they tried to push mainstream, and then when they managed to have success with the mainstream, then tried to push their ideology into those characters to the mainstream, failed miserably.
Yeah.
Because that's not how it operates. So yeah, there's a lot of criticism to be had, and you're dealing with people who, A, they don't care. Because ultimately, if you think this is about ideology, you're very, very wrong. This is about power. Holding on to power, holding on to some scrap of power within the industry that you get. Mags can't fucking get a paycheck, won't get a paycheck, lazy bitch, just goes out begging. Fucking give me money. I'm a beggar. I'm a literal panhandler on the internet. No talent, no prospects, no qualifications, nothing. Chop my body off, and I think that's my life. I think that's what defines me. No, it doesn't. But you get handpicked by Zack Snyder to write a book. Why? Based off your talent, based off your sales, you can't sell shit. This is about power. This is about manipulation. This is about keeping people in check. That's why the big lot have all left the industry. That's why they're working for themselves. Mm-hmm. That's why you won't see, unless Mark Millar goes, if he goes to DC, he's going to DC as editor-in-chief. He's going as
and it had to probably pay him
president of the company or something. Yeah. That's what he's going at. Yeah. He's not going in to write for them or anything unless they give him a very specific thing that he wants to do. I have a very specific story I want to tell. I don't care about stuff like that. So you got people who are unworthy, who know they're unworthy, who know they are untalented in an industry where they have talent, plethoras of them out there. And now, added to the mix, is you got a guy like you that just said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. That's just adding that to the mix. And now you fucking embarrass them because you're everything that they've espoused that they want to see in an industry that can't happen because it's been held back. You're being held back. And you've just shown, no, it's bullshit. You know what it takes? It takes an idea. It takes vision. It takes hard work, determination, getting the right people involved, not just in the front end, in the back end, self-publishing, self-distributing. That's what it takes. You do your own merch. You do everything. Everything's fucking in-house.
Yeah.
And you've one guy said, so now you've embarrassed the industry. So now you're a target because you've embarrassed the mainstream. There is nowhere for them to go here. They have no argument. They're in a corner. They are backed into a corner. And so everybody that disagrees with me is Hitler. That's all they have. That's all they have left to fall back on.
And that is, it's a reflex. And it's boring. I mean, to be completely honest, the fact that we're still dealing with this old, tired, nonsensical non-argument that is thrown out there by the people that are part of the industry, it's quite pathetic. But I will say this, and I've mentioned this before, various shows. The way that I see it, and I love that you worded it in a way that it's like it's about power, because effectively that's exactly what it is. And I look at you could even throw some of the major other publishers out there, but especially with Marvel, if you want to talk about like their market share of comics, Marvel and DC effectively is the sugar daddy of the industry. And what I mean by that is that you talk about this lack of talent that is allowed to, I mean, for lack of better terms, run characters into the ground. See, when you're not dealing with like having to maintain a certain bottom line, you don't do dumb shit like that. I think we talked about it last show. It's like, okay, I'm a business owner. I have a decision to make, and I need to grow this universe. Here are my options: Mike Barron, Chuck Dixon, Max Visaggio. Okay, so, or Vita Ala. I mean, pick them, whoever. Of course.
Well, Max is a beautiful woman, Eric. So I would appreciate if you compared them more to the Soskers. You know,
that person would like to think that they are. We'll throw the Soskers in the mix too. I got a decision to make between them and the group of weirdos. Anybody that cares about the bottom line and is dealing with their own money, right, says, I'm taking 9 times out of 9 Chuck, Mike, Soskers every fucking time. Reason being is because the goal is to sell to an audience that actually exists, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas with a Marvel or DC, they play by a different set of rules because they have the benefit of being tied to multinational mega corporations, right? And I do believe that there is some sense of awareness by the industry, which is why I believe they're so fucking delusional, right? I believe that there is some bit of awareness where they understand if it fails to or ceases to exist, the current structure, where do I go?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I go? Some of these guys have shown that if they try to do their own thing, it just don't hit the same. It's different. When your name's tied to Batman, when your name's tied to Superman, or your name's tied to X and O, it can be very lucrative. But when it's not tied to that, it's a lot more uncertainty. You're finding out that maybe you're not the draw. So I think there's a bit of awareness by these people where they're like, look, we have to be protective and delusional with regard to this industry, because should it change fundamentally, let's say Warner or Discovery woke up tomorrow and said, look, we're in debt, okay? And we're holding L's like it's going out of style. We gotta start pinching pennies here, man. And there's gonna have to be some, maybe losing millions of dollars didn't matter as much, but now it kind of hits a little different because we got to find out where to cut. Maybe they say, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I would say it wouldn't. If they say, look, man, we're out of the publication game. We're out. We're out. I think people need to understand that, yes, the talented artist will be fine. But a lot of these guys, and I think it's well over half of them, writers and such, there is no spot for them on the other side. There's no room for them. They are going to be working something else, but it won't be in comics because they don't have the draw, the demand to eat off of that. So that's why I believe a lot of these guys are so protective, especially when a guy like a Mark Millar hits kicks the hornet's nest, but also, again, he's richer than all of them. So it don't hit as much, right? When you start talking all the shit, calling him all these names, he's like, dude, I closed the deal for like $50 fucking million. There ain't shit you could tell me. You cannot do anything to me. He won't say it, I'll say it for him, right? But that's more or less the approach. So they're like having to come to terms with like, fuck, man. There's no spot for us. So we have to, anybody that dares to try to threaten the status quo, we got to do everything we can to try to bury him. We have to, because if this shit goes away, we're done. I'm not saying that every one of them are smart enough to understand that, but I do believe there's a decent amount of them that knows if Marvel and DC, as they exist right now, if you just take those two, you can throw the other ones in there. But even if we just especially took Marvel and DC, if those two changed fundamentally, like their publication, and they started like being a lot more aware of their spending, maybe they get in the licensing game a little more or whatever it may be. Let's just say they're not hiring in the same capacity that they were before. These people are done. They're done. There's no room because legitimately there's no fucking room for them. And I think that's why they push back the way that they do. I think that's why they're so fucking angry, because the writing's on the wall. And I think it's an inevitable thing. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do believe that at some point in time, this isn't sustainable. Let's just say that. It's not a sustainable thing. It's going in the wrong direction, right? Even some of the guys that are in the mainstream, they try to butter it up. ICV2 put out an article not too long ago talking about like basically the business side of comics in 2023. And they discussed how like the direct market is just, and how much changes is happening to it. They know. These fuckers know, bro. They know that this shit ain't sustainable. So should it go away, what are you going to be left with? Where does Mags go? Where does Vida Ala go? Where does Kelly Sue DeConnick? Where do they go? Who's going to, when they actually are not tied to a mega corporation? So their bottom line is so impactful. It matters so much, and they have to hire based on merit. Why on earth would I select them? And I'm not even trying to disrespect. I'm just talking, making dollars make sense. Again, if I got an option between like a Chuck Dixon and you, why on earth would why would I go there? You can't guarantee me sales. If anything, I might lose it. Hell, this is my argument that I was making about Rebel Moon. It's like, I think, and I'm not gonna say Max single-handedly ruined fucking Rebel Moon's release. I'm not stupid enough to say that, but I do believe bringing her on to do a prequel comic zapped a lot of enthusiasm from those that are aware of who she is. Right? So for me, I think that it may get worse before it get better, because this is all that they have. They're desperate. Desperate.
I'm just thinking, well, number one, I'm not going to play Max's game. When you're handpicked by Zack Snyder. You're not handpicked by Zack Snyder. Okay, Zack Snyder has no fucking idea about Mags's mitigated failure. We know it's a marketing team, and we know that it's optics for rehab of Zack Snyder. We've been through this, right? So once again, Mags gets a Make-A-Wish book because they are the Make-A-Wish child, like Vida Ayala. They're Make-A-Wish children of the comic book industry. You hit a box, an ESG, DEI, die, more like. We know that they hit one of those boxes. Essentially, when you're being judged based off that, it means you're shit. And they know that. Vida knows that. Actually, I'm not sure. Vida does come across as fucking retarded. So I'm not sure that Vida actually realizes and has the self-awareness to understand that they are simply there because they tick a box. Mags knows. Mags absolutely knows. And when you're there to tick a box, it means you dog shit. It means you're here because you can tick this. Not because you're talented. Not because you've got legitimately something to say. Not that you're legitimately creative and you can take a character and you can go with it and run with it and make it something, maybe boost the sales on it, get some interest in that character. No, nothing. You're there because you hit one of our racist, sexist, misogynistic. We're far leftist, so we're actually projecting.
Yeah,
boxes. That's what you do. And there has to be. Like I said, not too sure with Vida because I think they are that stupid. They don't have the self-awareness. But that has to eat you up inside. You must, when you're dealing with bitter people, untalented people who actually do know that they're not there because they're good, he's got to eat them up inside.
Yeah.
They got to know. And so they get more and more resentful. Mark Millar, you talked about IP. Mark's made his money off his own IP, not because of Superman, not because of Batman, not because of the Authority. That wasn't his property. He just wrote it, some of it. You know, he that's not what made him. It was Wanted. It was Kick-Ass. You know, it was stuff like that. Kingsman.
Yeah,
that's what made him, his own stuff, and that's what puts the fear of God into them. Because they know that Mark doesn't have to woo the industry for a job.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to flirt with the industry to get work. Where's Mark's Wade original IP? Doesn't have any. Not of any worth. Nothing. I don't know of any.
I know he did a little bit in independent but it's not like it's not like he was known for it. Like Mark is. Like Mark's like ate off of his own stuff. Like I don't think he can say that at all. Whatever he did independently, I don't think, like, all Mark Waid for the most part is known for is doing mainstream stuff.
I say, you know, Kick-Ass was a phenomenal success. Kingsman was a phenomenal success. Those two films that made him fuck you money.
Yeah.
So when you're in an industry that you know you don't deserve to be in, that you know you don't have the talent to be in, that you have to beg for fucking money because you're A, not talented enough, and B, too bone idle to get an actual job, because you think somehow in your brain you deserve to be there, or it's my right to be there, which it is not. If you can't sell product to put food on your table, you don't deserve a place at the table. You need to get up, fuck off, fuckity bye. And then the next person in the queue that thinks they've got a shot, that you think's got talent, bring them in. That's what needs to happen.
Well, that's what a just place, a just culture,
that's the meritocracy.
Yeah, that's how it will operate.
And the meritocracy doesn't discriminate against any facet of your life. The meritocracy doesn't care if you're gay, doesn't care if you're Muslim, you're black, you're Asian, you're white. It doesn't care. The meritocracy operates off talent. It operates off sales. And if people are buying your book and your book selling, There's something there. People are clearly gravitating towards it, for whatever reason it may be. And then you keep them on. But when you don't sell, when you can't sell, and when you're constantly getting jobs, you're wasting that company's money. But that company's supported, as we already know, by Warner, by Disney. So they don't give a fuck. So you have an industry that doesn't give a fuck about its product. No. And then you come across somebody like Mark who does give a fuck. Somebody who doesn't actually make money from the books he's making. He's writing them for fucking fun now because he loves them.
No.
He's done his deals. He's done his signing. He's signed that shit. So you've come across against somebody that cares versus an industry that doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit about what product it puts out. Doesn't give a shit about its audience. Doesn't give a shit about who it hires as long as they tick the right box. They don't give a shit. Yeah. And when you get somebody like Mark that shines a big spotlight on that, because I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face. I'm not going to make, I'm preaching to a converted audience. You're going to have some. The more you get into the industry, you're going to have more and more influence the more you get deeper into that. But the other day, you had somebody that was just like, oh, you think that you can tackle Mark Waid's Batman Superman? And I just like to you, Eric, they're wanting to compare you to Batman and Superman coming at Isom. This is the biggest compliment in the world. What did they do? They fucking deleted that immediately.
They did delete it. They
deleted it immediately because they didn't realize what they'd fucking done.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to send Batman and Superman. By the way, Isom has probably sold more, has probably made more money than the Batman and Superman comics combined. Yeah.
It's not even
over
close.
The last 12 months. I'd like to see the numbers of those together.
Yeah, but that publication, it's not even close, for sure. Like, just considering where page count, price point, and money it sells, it's not even close. We've made far more money than anything that they could have done. But yeah, that was very flattering for that person to do that.
Thank you.
It's like, okay, I mean, I guess I appreciate it. I mean, I'm being compared. And they, he said it like there was they stumbled across, I don't know, the fucking Hope Diamond. Like, hey, here's Batman and fucking Superman, right? Like literally arguably the two most prominent fucking, in some capacity, comic book characters of all time. Fucking fiction, fuck comics, like just
pop culture, man.
Just regardless. Oh, and they're saying it was over Isom won. I'm like, look, man, if that's my comp, I'm in a good spot. This early on, a year in, I'm fucking in a good spot. If that's gonna be the comparison, right? But yeah,
can't compare it to Green Lantern. He'll smash that. Can't compare it to the Flash. Smash that. Can't compare it to Wonder Woman. Smash that. Can't compare it to Martian Manhunter. Smash that. Can't compare it to Green Arrow. Smash that. Can't compare it to Black Canary. To Poison Ivy, to Harley Quinn. Smash that. We have to attempt to go to the biggest two. What about Batman and Superman? They may possibly, I'm not too sure, be able to give you a run. Fuck off.
Yeah, thanks. But no, it's like to your point. When you navigate the way that Mark is, and guys like myself and others that are kind of eating on their own property, it is fulfilling. I'll say this speaking from my perspective, but I think a lot of people that are able to, like the Graham Nolans of the world, shout out. He was just on, was it the Real BBC that he was on with y'all?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Shout out. And yeah, like, he's able to, despite being a legend, he's eating off of his own stuff, right? That's what he does right now with everything that he's doing with Compass Comics. He's able to eat off of, and it's fulfilling, right? It's a different animal. It's like, hey, I don't have to play by you guys' rules because I don't fucking need you, right? And it's liberating in a sense. And these guys will never have that liberation that are part of the mainstream. They don't have the talent. They don't have the business acumen. And they have too much contempt for their own fucking audience of people that would be buyers, simply because maybe, again, they disagree with them on a a topic on comic books, right? It could be something superficial. It doesn't really matter. They don't need a good reason to not like you. But again, I think that's where the arrogance comes from, is because, well, you got that sugar daddy. So what happens when sugar daddy goes away? What happens?
You go away.
You go away. Like there's no room for you. And I think a lot of people, going back to my previous point, that's why they lash out in the way it is that they are, because you can imagine being in their position. They have been subsidized, if you will. It's almost welfare, effectively. It is what it's been for them, right? Because they don't really have talent, right? You're not you and definitely with a lot of these guys, they are hand selected to check a box. And it's not like we're just saying that just to say that. If anything, these different segments it was that they were doing, like during that DC fandom shit, they were straight up telling us.
Yes.
You were telling us this was why you were doing this stuff. So it's
every
not like
single presenter that came out, inclusion and diversity is more important part industry today. No, it's not. It is actually the least most important part.
It has no bearing on
fandom now, by the way. Where's fandom? Sorry, where's fandom now? Oh yeah, it's dead.
All that shit that they hyped up was largely a dud. Milestone, especially. So going back to Vita Island, right? But that's what they led with, right? They led with all of this diversity.
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. It's from Vita. Hi, Vita. Hi, Az here, Heel versus Babyface. You can call me Sugar Daddy. Yep. You've got an idea for a new book. Okay, hit me with it. Right? Okay, so British spy, got it. Kind of like James Bond, got it. Yeah. He's the main character, yeah? No? Oh no? Who's the main character? Oh, it's a black lesbian. Okay, get back to me. Sorry, Vita just Vita-ing. Sorry, big pardon.
He's just Vita-ing, yeah, right.
I could apologize.
I get it. That's how it goes down.
Vita gonna Vita.
But that's what I'm fucking talking about, right? That's and it does come with a bit of frustration, because it's like, I believe that a lot of folks like ourselves would prefer that the Western comic book industry be in a good spot, right? However it looks, whoever's front running, right? That would be the preference. But they look at it like they would, and I mean, what did Mark Waid say, right? I mean, again, he's not talking about literal alt writers, but I think that bit of him saying he'd rather the bitch burn to the ground says a lot.
Tells himself, tells on them. We would rather blow up the building than have other people come in and try to fix the problem. And of course, they use words like alt-right, bullshit words like that, for actually people coming in and fixing this dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're referring to. They would rather blow up their building, blow up everything, than have somebody come in, destroy their ideology, destroy their place, their unearned place at the table. Probably a psycho like Mark Waid, who has a little bit of talent, probably won't get any work. Ultimately, would you want to have Mark Waid if you took over? I wouldn't.
He'd be out.
No, he'd be out the fucking door. Pencils down, Mark. Pencils down, buddy. Good boy. Fuckity bye. You fucking psycho. You fucking crazy psycho.
He's out. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, sure. What's it like with? How have you been with some women in your industry, Mark? Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend, Mark. Asking for a friend, buddy. Care to go into that? No, not really. Oh, okay. We'll pass over that. Hey, fuck off. Get out.
Seriously, man, it's telling when you're like, I will burn this motherfucker to the ground before. And this is what he's really saying. I'll reword it for him, because he's of course gaslighting and being a little disingenuous. This is what it is that Mark Waid is saying. He's saying, I would much rather, that part is effective, right? That's true. He'd much rather the bitch be burned to the ground than have the people that he has deemed as his ideological enemies fix the shit and actually have a thriving in. He'd rather it not thrive than allow folks like myself to be in the industry doing well and the industry itself doing better without his type being in control, if you will, or being the head honchos. And this is why you word it perfectly when you talk about it being about power. I use the term all the time, perceived legitimacy, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what the mainstream industry has. It gives them, right? It's not, because when I say it's not legit, again, it's like we know what sales are. We know the direction that they've been going in comparison to decades past. We understand that a lot of these people are hand selected. And it's not because of how good it is that they are. It's not merit. It has absolutely nothing to do with why a lot of these people are being brought in and put in the positions it is that they are in. That has nothing to do with that. So it's, yeah, I get it. I guess it's like, hey, man, here are these guys that maybe not, they don't think like you. And they got solutions. Even worse, a lot of us have actually come up with like the alternative way to do something, and it's worked. Not just so it's beyond just it being an idea or a concept, right? We're well beyond that. This is a legitimate solution, right? It's proven. All of that dumb shit you were saying, for example, when I was griping and complaining, bitching and moaning about tokenization, right? In comic books, right? The existence of the Rippaverse shows all of those nonsensical arguments were just that, nonsensical, right? Mm-hmm. This idea that people, the reason you had to tokenize was because people wouldn't get behind original black characters or an original female character or original whatever.
You embarrassed them. I told you. You've embarrassed them with that.
Yeah. So it shows that, oh, absolutely, people will get behind these new characters regardless. So again, the solution is there. It's very, very effective. But it's stubbornness, it's arrogance, it's narcissism, it's
hypocrisy is what it is.
That's probably number one.
It's hypocrisy because they preach about diversity, inclusion. We have to do this to characters. We have to turn them gay. We have to turn them black because people won't buy. You, a black creator, created a black original main character for your universe, and it's sold in fucking spades. Probably a very poor choice of words. It sold in absolute fucking spades. And it didn't sell because you were black, and it didn't sell because Ison was black. It sold because of the vision, the idea that you had behind your Rippaverse, the enthusiasm, and the desperation of people who just want good fucking comics.
Yeah.
And they want to just gravitate. If you look back at Mark Waid's Flash run, it was a good Flash run with Wally West. Good Flash run. You know? Decent Flash run at the very least. You talk about ideology. We talk about ideology. We talk about you have different mindsets. Look, I don't know what it's like for you, but when I'm talking to people in a fucking shop, walking down the street, in the gym, whatever it may be, do you ever go to that person, hi, how did you vote? And what is your thoughts on the Palestinian-Israeli situation? Nobody fucking talks like that. That's not a natural conversation.
Right.
You know, you're sort of like, hi, I'm just wondering if I could have that lettuce over there, please. Or you're in the gym, and you're just like, are you finished with these weights? Or somebody's seeing you do something, and just like, hey, dude, do you know if you just actually move this forward, you get more of a hit there? You'd be like, oh, cheers, man. And then as he's walking off, hi, what is your position on the taxation and the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida? And they look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because that's reality. Reality is people don't feel that way, talk that way, act that way.
True.
So if it doesn't matter if you had Chuck Dixon in the comic book industry and he had fucking Gail Simone, if they actually had any talent, which they don't. They rode off fucking Chuck Dixon's coattails for years off their mediocre Birds of Prey run, and then nothing ever since. Nothing ever since.
Yep.
It's like if Gail had actually had some talent, there's no reason why they two can't do books together. What's the fucking problem? No problem. Because they wouldn't. Would Chuck be coming into work going, "Hey Gail, how you doing, Gail? I was just wondering how you felt about the Trump ticket." No, I'm just coming here to write fucking Black Canary, mate. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. No, my bad. My bad. You know, these aren't conversations which happen in reality. These are fantasy conversations which happen on Twitter, on social media. Pure gaslighting. Pure gaslighting. If you're walking into work and you're wanting to fucking talk to somebody about the fucking Biden administration, something's fucking wrong with you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your life? What is wrong with your fucking life?
That's true.
Once upon a time, to me, politics was ticking a box once every 5 years in the UK. That's what it was. There's a general election. Had they happen once every 5 years? Tick a box. That's it. Nobody had any fucking political conversation. Even when I was at fucking university. Yeah, you just had a bunch of twats at university going, "Oh, looking really edgy. I don't wear shoes." Oh, well done. Congratulations. Look at me. I've actually grown my hair down to my asshole. I'm so different. Don't you know how different I am? Yeah, that's great, mate. Great. I tell you what, take a shower. You fucking stink. All right? Yeah? How about that? That's the kind of shit that happens. None of this political fucking gaslighting, grandstanding on social media. Shut your fucking mouth. You got nothing to say. I know I've said that in Starfield, but you got nothing to say. You're coming up with it. There's all rights in the industry. Shut the fuck up. You ginger fucking bald twat, and I'm bald. And you're embarrassing me. Fucking shave it off. You look like you've been fucking eating that toffee apples and tripping up on the carpet. Stupid idiot. You've got a bunch of fucking undeserved idiots in your industry who have you by the fucking balls because you don't have any, and you're also fucking petrified that you'll say anything and do anything to placate them, or the Whisper Network and that gaggle of disgustingly foul bitches from Gail Simone to Mags to fucking Alex DeCunty to Heidi McDonald, to all those absolute vile pieces of shit have got your fucking balls in their handbag, and none of you got the stones to turn around and do something about it. And as soon as one person who's outside of that, who doesn't need to worry about that, isn't concerned about that, actually speaks up and says something, then you all fucking shit yourselves. Oh shit, I gotta go for bat here. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a sexual harassment claim made against me. Not a lawsuit, a claim. I'm just gonna have some woman step up out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere, and go, "He did something nasty to me 12 years ago. I have zero evidence or proof, but it happened. Believe all women. #MeToo." That's what they're paranoid about. Maybe because half of them did do that shit.
I was just about to bring that up.
Maybe
shout out Gary, by the way, neurotic in the chat. Says the American Society of Magical Cancel Pigs.
Magical Cancel Pigs. Oink oink.
But no, to your point though, man, it's yeah, I mean it's a dirty ass fucking game. I know you saw Chuck posted about it with Mark Wade that meme. Fuck it, he says like his he said like his comments like he likes his women.
Back to board.
Fuck, man. It's like fucking Chuck, man. He hit something else. Shout out Chuck. But like, no, it's yeah, they got dirty secrets, and that's probably a but yeah, it's just seeing these talentless shits, man, go around making enemies out of people that actually give a fuck about the industry. You know, look, say what you will about me, I get it. There are folks out there that I get it, despise me, and they will never like me. I'm everything wrong with everything. I understand that. Whatever. I mean, you're wrong, but I get it. The point isn't to convince you. One thing that can't be said about me in the Rippaverse is all of the things that people have griped about with the industry. And I'm talking about the creatives. My artists get paid. They get paid well. They get paid on time. Same can be said for my writers. Same can be said for my employees. Same can be said about our contractors. And if anybody had any sense looking at folks like myself in the industry, you look at that as like a positive, even if you hated everything that we put out. It's a net gain, right? It's the industry is looking at it from economics. The industry is has added jobs to it just by sheer fact that the industry or that this the company is doing well and people are buying into it, and of course everybody's paid, right? And all those issues that they gripe about, hashtag comics broke me, are not the issues that it is that we have over here. And instead of being like, well, yeah, that's a good thing, their first instinct is to fucking lash out. Try to delegitimize it, right? And lash the fuck out. All for what? As to impress a bunch of people that don't got long boxes, man. They don't exist. It's to impress people on fucking social media. Your peers, number one, right? Probably starting there. And a bunch of fucking weirdos that don't buy books.
Show us your boxes.
They do not buy books. They will pirate the motherfucker out your shit. Maybe they talk about it. Yes, Queen Slay, you've now made so-and-so gay. It's my favorite book ever. John Kent is now my favorite character. I put him as my profile picture. And by the way, that profile picture, if you look really closely, you can see that it's scanned. And I actually fucking pirated that goddamn shit. But that's beside the point. He's my favorite character ever. And that's their approach. These guys don't got the capital. And they not buying this shit. And they're trying to impress those guys.
Also, how many of those guys are actually corporate bots?
Well, I mean, we saw what happened out of the Warner shit, HBO.
From third-party marketing companies.
Yeah, because it is hard to believe that. Yeah, that's a whole different animal. I mean, if you want to go there, how much
the amount of traction that some of those posts
it doesn't make any sense.
Zero hashtags, zero engagement, makes no sense. None.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Logical. Yeah, these guys that won't have that many followers or ever, and they'll say something, and I'll notice. And I've seen some of the guys like will quote tweet me as an example, and no followers, and like within the first 5 minutes they have like 500 likes. I'm like, what, something ain't fucking right. So
wait a minute, get right.
There's probably some shenanigans, right? Funny money that's happening. But even the optics of it all, or to do it for the optics of it all, is fucking retarded. For you're trying to impress your peers, I guess, to get a pat on the back, like, hey, you're brave, Mark Waid. You called people alt-right. Nobody's ever done that. You're standing up to these Nazis and all that that are, for I guess, around every single corner of America, and are trying to infiltrate the comic book industry or whatever the fuck.
I would have had my swastika up, but it's in the wash.
Round table, Klansmen, they put on their hoods, they sit round table, burning cross, and
I'm doing whites today.
They say, how are we gonna take over the comic book industry today? Like that's the conversation that's actually being fucking had, right? Like these fucking losers, man. But again, it's all optics. I guess it's for the retweets and the likes, and I don't know, CBR do an article about you and say how brave you were that you made a character gay, and you spoke against whatever the alternative guys in the industry.
How stunning and brave was it of you to say, do you know what? Nazis, they're bad
people.
Oh man, that takes fucking courage.
Fucking guts, man. Absolute guts. You really went out on a fucking limb, bro. You went out on a limb to say that Nazis are bad.
Eric, racism, that's not good.
Oh man, that's hey man, you really being stunning right now.
Sorry, hot take. I'm sorry. I'm putting my life on the line here.
That's what Boyega said.
On the line.
Yeah. So Boyega said when he was marching and saying Black Lives Matter, My career is on the line. He said, I might not ever get another gig by getting out here and having the most generic fucking position that everybody around me also has and adopts. I'm going out on a fucking limb.
To the promised land.
I'm going out on a limb. I am being brave by saying Black Lives Matter. Fuck, these people, man, are unbelievable. Believable, I guess, in a sense, but unbelievable. Like, I mean,
how many of these would say something to your face? In a locked room, face to face, who's going to say anything? You're going to say something? You're going to say something? They ain't going to say shit.
No.
They ain't going to say fucking shit. Might fucking soil the pants.
Like, man, I look, I really do, believe it or not. Again, my detractors, haters, I get it. You know, again, I couldn't possibly convince you, and I'm not trying to. But actually give a fuck about this industry. I wouldn't have invested all this money, and I know Az is right there with me, all the shit that we've bought and collectibles and
I'll quite happily show you my boxes.
Yeah. Of just material that we've collected over the years. I wanted to do well. And I also understand what it meant to me, the people that I've linked up with through fandom, some lifelong friends, right, through enjoyment of comic book based material, right, in media. And I would love for that to continue on. I would love for the new generation, next generations to get in on that, right? But in order for that to happen, there has to be some fundamental changes, structurally, foundationally. It's not in a good spot economically, and obviously the social political bullshit. I know something happened in 2016, and everybody just went fucking crazy, and they felt that the material it was that they were creating, largely based on characters that they didn't create,
correct,
had to be reflective of their political and social positions, right? It had to. It absolutely had to, because this is, I guess, taking it to the evil people, and I guess they felt, again, stunning and brave that they were doing it while effectively running half of the damn demographic out of the industry, which was impressive, right? Like, that's an impressive thing. Like, think about that ass. 2010s comic book media is on, like, as far as the movies, on top of the world.
Yeah. Not working in concert with each other at all.
Did we get a increase in comic book sales?
No, because the characters that were in the comics weren't the characters that were on the screen.
Bingo. Right? So you had that going for you, squandered it. And again, anybody that had some humility would look at that and say, yeah, something's wrong. The fact that we're on top of the world right now and we can't sell books, the math ain't mathing, essentially.
No.
It's just not. It doesn't make sense. But they didn't look at it like that. They lied to themselves and said, yeah, everything's good. Comics are booming. They've never been better. Hey, look at those graphic novel sales. They doubled in a year. Yeah, that's ours. We did that. See, that's indicative of the comic book industry happening. Oh, manga? What? No, don't worry about that. That's just that the comics are booming. They've never been better.
Sure.
You're fucking liars.
So why is it when the reports come in every year, it's DC and Marvel down, manga up, trades up? Because people would rather buy a trade than fucking the floppies right now. No point. Back issues up.
Back issues, yeah.
DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse. Pretty much all of them down. Definitely DC, Marvel.
I mean, well, shit. I mean, we've seen what's happened with, Aftershock went out of business. Fucking IDW, which I don't know how much longer they're gonna last.
It's any day would not be a surprise. Any day would not be a surprise. It's way past its deletion day.
Yeah, it's if they didn't have the last Ronin,
Oof.
I think for sure they're done. I think IDW goes on. That might be single-handedly carrying their company right now.
Mm-hmm. Apart from, of course, Heather Antos.
I forgot about that. Oh yeah, she was the best person for the job. What are you talking about? Heather Antos, you want to grow your company? You bring her in. She was the best on the market.
Apple O'Neil, baby. Apple O'Neil.
Best in the business. And the fact that
celebrity editor. Celebrity editor. I've seen that. Celebrity editor.
All for fucking. I don't get it, man. And then in the other cases as well, I'm like, look, man, I've kind of reached apathy stage where I guess if talent, and yeah, maybe it's a little selfish of me, but at least this means better paying jobs. But I also look at the direction and I'm kind of like, do I want them to stop fucking up? I want the industry to do better. Don't get me wrong. But do I want them to stop as far as the mainstream? Because,
no.
Yeah, the talent's freeing up.
No, you want them to continue to the point where they do burn their house down. That's where you want it to go. Because then when the house is burnt down and they go, ha, 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 look, we burnt our house down. Somebody actually comes in and goes, right, we're moving to a new house. Wait, what? You can do that. Yeah, it's called shutting DC down, and it's called licensing out the characters. But we burned the build. It doesn't matter what you did. You cut your nose off to spite your face because you're fucking retarded. We own the properties. We own the licenses. We're putting them in that house now. Let them do it. Self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the face. Mark thinks it's this great defiant statement. We'll burn the industry down before we give in to the alt-right. That's not your decision to make.
That's true. You're not in any fucking leadership position, to my knowledge, with DC. You have nothing to do with it. You don't control shit. That's a good point.
That's the vanity. That's the ego. That's the narcissism of these situations.
You guys
don't have any control.
Shit. You don't control
no
shit.
Control.
That's a good point.
Zaslav does. You fucking don't. You're a fucking scrote. That's all you'll ever fucking be. And that's all that the industry will ever know you as.
You ain't got shit. And look, talent's freeing up. I mean, in the same respect, yeah, you can look at it like the fact that Mike Barron or Chuck Dixon, they're free agents, was a crime. I wouldn't disagree. But I also, this company and themselves are reaping the benefits from them doing that. So it's like, yeah, you hate to see it go in the direction that you go in, but it doesn't mean the industry can't thrive, right? Because Marvel and DC will, look, going into these next generations, are they going to be around in the same capacity? I have no fucking idea. Well, let me say this. If it keeps going in this direction, fuck no. But that doesn't mean that there won't be people into comic book related material. And I think that's where the alternatives sort of come up. This is where the Rippaverse kind of takes advantage of that. So if you are watching this and you are the building's on fire, let's be honest. It's on fire. I think the match has been lit. Maybe it was by the Mark Waid types, and it hasn't quite burned all the way to the fucking ground yet. But it's on fire, and it was an inside job. Let's just say that. So if you are part of that industry and you're not a fucking hack, because really that's the only requirement it is that we have here at the Rippaverse. Just don't be a fucking hack. That's it.
Working 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock was an inside job. 2 hours. That's a long time, Eric, for these people. Come on.
Well, they and to be fair, that I mean, Chuck, Mike, they come from a different era, right? Of they're real blue collar, right? These guys they're workhorses, right? And you know, to that point, yeah, it's a job. We pay well. But yeah, you're not gonna just be able to sit and coast on your pronouns. Not how this shit works. But if you are not a fucking hack and you're inside of this burning building and you're seeing the writing on the wall, the inevitable, and you are a very talented artist, right? You're just not a hack. I think it's a great time to start maybe reaching out to the likes of the Rippaverses of the world and the other alternatives who are doing their own thing, have a business model that is going to be sustainable and are going to keep being great. It's time, because the way that I see it, if they haven't turned this son of a bitch around by now, it's just not going to happen. Mark Wade, I believe him. He will allow this bitch to burn to the ground before and again, it's not the alt-right, it's sane people.
It's them.
Well, yeah, them.
It's them. We will destroy our own industry before we dare let anyone try to save it.
That's the translation. That's what he said.
Yep.
That's what he said. That's what he meant.
Politics, got nothing to do with alt-rights, Nazis, white supremes, racist, sexist, homophobes, transphobes, and all the fucking phobes and bullshit. It's we will fucking burn the industry down with our little clique, with our little fucking bubble, then dare let people that know what they're doing get rid of this fucking dog shit and push out the people who don't deserve to be here. That's what he said. That's what he said.
That was a statement. That was effectively what it was. So yeah, if you are out there, artists, start hitting us up. Yeah, I think there will be more Mark Millers. Because anybody that's being honest, delusion is a different thing, and lying also is another. But anybody that's honest, I don't give a fuck where you're at politically, any of that. If you're being honest with yourself, you understand the trajectory of the current comic book industry. It's going in the wrong direction. Like, you don't need to be a libertarian to understand that. It's just factual information. It's out there. It's available to you, and just believe your eyes, guys. It's going in the wrong direction. And there's going to have to be adjustments made in the event that this is going to last. The Western comic book industry is going to last and thrive. I believe that it can thrive. I believe that it can it can go in a different direction, but it's going to require some changes, and the people that are in charge or think that they're in charge are not going to be the ones that make those changes, because, as Mark said, he'd rather the bitch go down to the ground. Anyway, I mean, to me, that tells me you don't really care about this fucking industry at all. It's just more protecting your own bacon.
Old on himself.
Yeah.
Old on himself.
Yeah. He more so cares about, again, the optics and the power perceived, though, because to your point earlier, Mark Wade doesn't control jack shit. He is a contractor. And that's it. That's where the buck stops.
I'm gonna burn McDonald's down to the ground, and I refuse to flip any more burgers. I'd rather see this. No, you're fired.
Yeah, you're out of here.
No, you're fired. Oh, but I'm trying to burn the bit. Not your building. Not gonna allow you to burn down, buddy. Not your building to burn down.
It's not your call to make. And I think. Look, I don't say this to be a doomer. I'm just being honest here. I do believe, as these people, because these people are telling on themselves and they're telling, letting everybody in on their tactics. it's going to have a way of the downward trend is going to have a way of making these guys even uglier. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they deploy even dirtier tactics.
Dude, if I'm running DC, if I'm Jim Lee right now, if I'm president of the company, not out fishing, cashing a paycheck as I do, actually gave a shit. Mark Waid puts that tweet out. He gets told to fuck off.
He's off the project.
Mark, come here. You're out.
Yeah.
You're out that book. Your last book.
And then I'm coming out with a public statement like, all right, that's not what it is that we stand
out of order.
For business. That was
complete and utterly out of order what Mark Waid just said. We here at DC Comics in no way endorse or support any of these opinions. Mark has been removed from this great book with these great characters, and we'll be replacing him with an announcement of whichever who may be.
Chuck Dixon.
Oh, we brought Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan to come in and continue this.
Yeah. Because
the dream team is
they'd be perfect for World's Finest.
Yeah, absolutely perfect for World's Finest. Perfect.
They would. Yeah.
But they're allowed to run rampant. It's children in a creche. It's children in a creche running rampant, throwing around toys. Got nothing. Get him out of there. Get him out.
Well, I think that's where the leadership kind of
there is no
there is none, right? But that's the importance of it, right? You need people to make those calls. Jim Lee is not that guy. Clearly, you think
Denny O'Neil would tolerate that?
You think Jim Shooter would?
Jim Shooter would probably throw him out of a window, to be honest with you.
Literally.
He would throw him out of a window. Whereas Denny O'Neil would just scream and tell him to fuck off.
Get out of here. Like Jim Shooter might put hands on him.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? But no, seriously, like that's But
you think Jim Lee's gonna stop fucking fishing to tackle this? Nah.
Saw that picture, man. That's it's like, I mean, you want to talk about tone, but I mean, what the fuck is that guy doing? But no, seriously, this is why I do think it's rather unrealistic with the current leadership and the current like setup that is mainstream comics for it to change. I just think it's unrealistic, like for them to change, right? Yeah, perfect world. Someone came in, bought it out, gutted the whole bitch, even the good ones, and then rehired everybody that was worth it down, which would be maybe 2% of your fucking company, right? It's a leadership issue. It's not just these shit writers, right? So when Tom Taylor makes John Kent gay, right? It's not just him. It's the editors were in on it, lead editors, editing the EIC, all the marketing guys. Because if you remember he did an interview. I can't remember who it was. I don't remember who it was. Via probably StreamYard, and he's wearing a rainbow S on his chest, right? The day the bitch got announced.
The headline, right? That's what it is.
So they were all in on it, like all of them. It's not just the writers. I mean, probably the fucking janitor is in on it. Like everybody's in on it. Like it's from the bottom. Which, to be fair, the janitor is probably a little more worthwhile, let's say that, more necessary than a lot of these guys.
It's really more functional than any of them.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you get what it is that I'm saying. Everybody's in on it. Like, everybody's in on, because nobody either has the power, right? Or there's just nobody that's there that says, yeah, we probably shouldn't fucking do that. Maybe turning Tim Drake gay makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So we wouldn't do that, right? Like, if you have good leadership, even if your writer pitches that as an idea, you laugh the shit off and you say this shit will never see the light of day. If maybe the editor saw it, right, and he approved it, the editor-in-chief says, no, that's not happening. Go back to the drawing board. Somebody says fucking something. So before we ever see it, and people that watch me, I brought this point up a million times. Like, we're late to the party when we see it, right? When we see it, when it's finally announced that John Kent is aged up and gay, as well as Tim Drake being gay.
Aged up gay and still underage.
Yes, that's true. Aged up gay and still underage. That's very true. When that is announced, like it had to get approved by several channels. So that's why I say that it's not just one guy. Like, they have foundation issues, bro. They have the minions, the guys calling the shots. They're all in on it. Every fucking one of them are in on it. And this is why I think it's far more realistic. Pipe dream as it may be, it's far more realistic that they run it into the ground. The shit goes up for sale because of that. And someone that gives a fuck about it actually gets control of it. That's far more realistic than these guys waking up one day and finally admitting, yeah, we've been going in the wrong direction. We're going to fucking fundamentally change it. That's just, the former is far more realistic.
All these ideas are built on short-term interest hype. Interest is such a loose term. When I say interest, I mean press are going to run a story on it. They don't understand. Well, they don't care. Understand's not the right word. They don't care the long-term damage that it has. Tim Drake is now a damaged, broken character.
Yes.
Jonathan Kent is now a broken, damaged character. Alan Scott, broken, damaged character. Aquila, whichever fucking Aquilad it is, sucking what on which fucking fat cow. Broken, nothing of a character. These are nothing characters that will never amount to anything anymore. Unless everything is absolutely reset. And of course, if you reset stuff in the current climate of who's running the place, then you're an istphobes and blah, blah, blah.
They're going to call you that. Anybody that tries to fix it is going to get called that. You'd have to be prepared for that.
So until the industry, or until the company is gutted, broken, you're going to get nowhere with these, because you don't have to be a phobe or an ism or whatever to just look at something and be, oh God, they made another character fucking gay, another character gay, and just to be sick of it. Sick of the lack of creativity, the lack of direction, the destruction of a great character, particularly with Tim, 3 decades plus of Tim Drake, just to be thrown away because somebody went in the room and went, I want to make Tim gay because I'm like gay. And I can only write, like the shop owner said, they can only write themselves. And as I've said many, many times myself, you are the least interesting thing about these characters. You, as the writer, are the least interesting thing. You want to insert yourself onto the character. You don't want to be that character. And what would that character do? Hi, I'm Tim Drake. I've been in a relationship with Stephanie Brown for 30 years. And I woke up today and I just, fuck me, I'd love to suck a cock. God damn it, would I ever? I'm aching for it. I met my buddy who I used to go to school with. I had a good time. Oh, really, Tim? Because you're gay. Oh, am I? Okay, cheers, Babs. Guess I'm sucking dick now. Yeah, I've got my own comic coming out. It's going to be a massive success. Oh, fuck, it's cancelled after 10 issues. Because that's you. There's no growth. There's no direction for them to ever go. Their character is solely based on demography. The character.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, other characters can just get on with it. You know, you can write Isom, you can write Alpha Core, you can write Yaira, Gooding, whatever's to come after that. You're not worried about that shit. You're concentrating on the character. You're not looking for CBR to go, oh my God, this is amazing. Isom sucking dick.
Headlines. That would be.
Yaira is scissoring with Valdez. Oh my god!
Oh yeah. I have all the headlines. I mean, I'd be broke too, but I'd at least have all the headlines.
You would have so much you'd have so much virtue bucks, you wouldn't know what to do with them.
I know, man. I can eat those. I can eat those retweets, man. That really is actual currency that's usable.
Well, as soon as a virtue store opens, which has some product to sell, that virtue bucks is going to go a long way. I mean, I guess you better store it in the bank for now, but
that's about all I can do with it. But no, I'd be pissy broke. Have all the headlines though. I mean, I got that going. My peers would be like, "You're the most bravest, bold, amazing writer of all time." But I just wouldn't have any money because I would.
No, they'd still hate you. They'd still hate you because you're an anarcho-capitalist that votes.
Yeah. There's still a political angle. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'll just be bankrupt. But seriously, it's like.
Hire Mags, hire Kwanzaa, hire Vida. Let them take your company in a brave new direction. Bankruptcy.
We'll call it all new, all different Rippaverse.
All new, all broke Rippaverse.
Issue 0 of ISOM, and now he's black. He's Puerto Rican actually now, and now he's
Puerto Rican with a Colombian flag in his house.
Yeah. And he got his powers in a Black Lives Matter.
Who gives a fuck, Yeah. Who cares?
Oh fuck, dude! That sounds entirely crazy, but that's literally the what the mainstream is doing and what they have done. And yeah, I think that it's funny. Their solutions, I think they're unrealistic because they would never allow it. I think they work too hard to get to the position it is that they're in. For them to get, like Mark Wade said, he'd rather burn a bitch to the ground anyway. But a perfect world, it would have to be gutted. Someone would have to come through, pull basically an Elon and say, "You're all fucking fired. Even the good ones, you're all out. If we thought you were worth it, then we will rehire you." But everybody is gone.
Yeah, everybody. 100% pencils down. Get out the fucking building.
Yeah. Everybody's out of that company memo. We give you about 30 minutes to read that email because after that, your email won't work because you won't have access to it.
You won't have access to it.
Yeah. Everybody's out. Everybody's fucking out, and we're gonna try to figure this shit out from the ground. That's what would have to happen because it's so fucking deep, and these weirdos are so committed. So fucking committed. And that's why I say it's a pipe dream. I say it's more realistic for number one, the charge is going to be led by the alternatives, or they run it into the ground to where it becomes cheap enough for someone that gives a fuck about it to be able to get the rights to it. Because Discovery has decided it's just fucking not worth it. We'll break this shit up. Here, you want fucking X character here? Like fucking just have it. It's yours. We'll sign everything off. It's fucking yours. Just give us X amount of millions of dollars and it's yours. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what would have to happen. For that, like I think that's the best case scenario. Best case fucking scenario. And these ideologues, these weirdos they're not gonna allow it to happen. Mark Wade told you. He told you the game plan. He's like, bro, I will burn this motherfucker to the goddamn ground. I will let it burn to the fucking ground before I ever work with the likes of any of you motherfuckers.
Mark? What does that mean, though? What can you possibly enact to
Mark
burn
Wade
anything?
Couldn't do anything, really.
Nothing.
He's not in control of anything.
What are you going to do? Have Superman fuck Batman up the ass?
Well, that might happen.
Or vice versa.
That's about as good. But like
Standing and brave.
Company-wise, there's nothing that like none of these guys are in charge of shit. But I think that's saying people running asylum.
Mark, it's already burnt down, you fucking idiot. You've already burnt down the fucking building. You're stood in a pile of ashes.
That's probably
and you don't even fucking realize.
That's probably a better way to describe it.
There's nothing for you to burn down. You've been doing it for the last fucking 8-10 years.
That's a good point. You're just standing in piles of your own shit right now, and it's kind of just
Empire of Ash.
Everybody's just kind of making their adjustments, right?
I'm king of the Ash.
Like I said, guys, I just look, man. If you're watching this, and you're one of those that are, it's usually artists. It's less writers and more artists that I believe that are doing. And that's what sucks, man. You see these guys that are phenomenal artists that are part of this shit, and they're just kind of just, hey, man, the gigs are coming. This is the only way I could eat. Nah, man, I think there's some alternatives that give you money. You get paid well, and you won't have to wait until Marvel or whoever decides, oh, shit, we probably should pay those guys. Oh, they completed that commission 3 months ago. But we'll give them I guess we'll give them their money, right? You don't have to worry about that shit over here. So that's my argument. Guys, I appreciate y'all all hanging out. I want to get to some of these super chats because we're fucking behind. There's questions. There's all kinds of shit that people things that they want to say. So I want to get through some of these. We got Jay, sweet and innocent childlike racism with a 2. Says, hey, Ripper, just got my Meth Gary short box in today. Wasn't aware that we had those. Shout out. They probably don't got what you want in them. I wouldn't open that box, to be honest. Stereo, God of Rage with a 20 says, ass. Thanks for recommending Batman Legacy. I'm digging it so far. I got my Alpha Core, Eric. I'm hyped to read it. Genuinely liked Ice on 1 and 2. How's that Moon Knight as? Much love to you and both. You both, excuse me, and I hope you have a great holiday.
It's up there. I'm still reading.
There you go. And I appreciate you, man. Glad you loved Ice on 1 and 2. And yeah, you're gonna love Alpha Core once you read it. It's
not seeing a lot of what is your favorite part of Alpha Core concern trolls going on.
Some
not seeing a lot of that. Not seeing any of not seeing that at all.
By the way, speaking of that, this right here is still available to you all. You can get your favorite part t-shirts, one of our cheaper t-shirts, $22. You've seen me rock it, seen everybody rock it. You can go grab that as part of the Alpha Core campaign if you want in, and yeah, let everybody know what your favorite part of ISOM is, or Alpha Core, or whatever. Dan, the Jedi with a 10 said, as and Eric, you guys fucking rock. Can't wait to get Alpha Core and ISOM. Also, how do you feel about the leak for the new Suicide Squad game where Harley Quinn shoots Batman? Look, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised at anything done by these companies at all. Yeah, that's about the extent of what I'll say about it. I don't look, man, bastardizing characters and humiliating them. I mean, that's just kind of par for the course for modern day. But I also can't confirm. I don't know if Az has anything he wants to say about any of that.
Yeah, Rocksteady, go fuck yourself. This is the last voiceover work of Kevin Conroy. This is allegedly meant to be the Batman from the Batman Arkham
I think
series.
That's the part that's not going to sit well with a lot of people.
Well, the fact that it's we're in an industry where dog shit characters like Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn, make no bones about it, is a dog shit.
I don't know why they got behind
character.
Why they got behind her like that, like so much.
White woman magic,
I guess.
white girl magic, I guess. Because she was a product of she was a successful character based off what she was created for, and then they wanted to make her into something that she wasn't, and it didn't work. And
she's gay though now. I mean, she's just really, really gay.
Oh, sure.
That made her more interesting.
Dude, tell me who's heterosexual.
True.
That's the more,
That's
everyone's
true.
Fucking gay, mate. And
That's
if they're
true.
not outwardly gay, they're like Batman. Thinking about it.
Consider it for a mission.
Thinking about it. If I need to suck a dick to make this mission work, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's absolute lack of any originality, any ideas. The whole concept of Suicide Squad, Clean Justice League, to me, I don't have any interest in at all. I was never interested in from the start.
I
sick
agree.
and tired of this nihilistic bullshit, which is that's all they have. And the reason why, by the way, if you're wondering why there's a saturation of nihilistic content, it's because they don't know how to write heroes. None of these people do. They don't understand the concept of heroicism, sacrifice, any of this business. All they know is nihilism, self-centered, superficiality, and that's why they gravitate towards the villainous aspects. That's why there's all the anti-hero bullshit now. It's because they don't know how to actually write a hero. They don't understand Batman. They don't understand Superman. They don't understand the sacrifice, the selflessness. They look at the superficiality. Well, he's rich and he's white and he's a straight male. Therefore, he's like a fascist and evil. And oh my God, why doesn't he just give his money like a good communist? And of course, it just wouldn't go into the government and be absolutely abused and squandered at all whatsoever. And he does. It's not like he actually understands that that's what would happen with his money if he gave it. They have nothing. This game's gonna. And even before this content of the games come out, this is set up to be a money pit of a game as well. A dog shit money pit with season passes for what should just be a single player game. Anyway, Harley Quinn, unlikable. The Suicide Squad, they've made them very unlikable. What was a quirky, fun thing. They've backed it all behind Harley Quinn now, and it's dog shit. Absolute dog shit. It could just burn. I'm not going to buy this trash. It's going to be like Gotham Knights and mitigated failure.
There you go.
Let them burn. Let them burn. Let them waste the money. I don't give a fuck.
Bob Starkey with a 10. Starsky with a 10. Says, hi guys, Az and Gary recommended Superman for all seasons, and I love it. Do you have any more recommendations for Superman comic runs? No Evil, Superman, bored of it. Remember Simu Liu equals Bruh Larson.
Bruh Larson. Pick up Dark Knight over Metropolis. 3-parter, Batman and Superman in the Superman comics. Artie Bear actually does one of the issues.
Shout out Art.
Shout out to Artie Bear. So yeah, just check that out. If you haven't read The Death of Superman, it's a great heroic story. It's a great heroic story of Superman realizing that he's probably going to die fighting this doomsday creature, but he won't give up. He won't stop fighting. And so if you want some good old sacrifice, some good old fucking heroicism, pick up The Death of Superman, pick up Funeral for a Friend, the aftermath of The Death of Superman. Some great character stories there. Great piece of work with Jonathan Kent. Wonderful bits there. And then go to Reign of the Supermen. Just fun, interesting, different. Bringing all these different facets. Is any of them Clark? Or it's just an interesting story. Go along that sort of line. There were some great stories told back in the 90s. If you pick up a Superman 75 poly bag, don't open it, keep it. You can pick it up for a decent price. It sold 6.5 million copies over God knows how many fucking print runs.
Yeah.
But Death of Superman is just a great story about sacrifice.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Bob, Demonic Rebellion became a member as well as Crimson Shadow. Shout out to y'all. Harrison with a 10 says, question to you both. Was Wade always like this and he just kept his thoughts on the download? Does he have TDS or what? Well, look, I'll answer that first.
He never kept it on the download.
Yeah, I'll answer that first. A lot of these guys have been this way. It's just for whatever reason. Yes, 2016 made everybody fucking crazy. Because there was once upon a time where, yes, you had these leftists that were in the industry, but they weren't like as aggressive about what it is that they were doing, and it didn't and it largely interfere with, let's say, their work. Not to say that was everybody, but that was more or less the standard. I've had some great conversations on stream with Chuck about that. He's talked about Denny O'Neil being opposite of him. Yet they worked to, make sure they got the shit accomplished. And then that kind of just went out the window. So I think that the rise of social media and whatever happened in 2016 in America, something happened, right? And it made everybody fucking crazy. I think the combination of those just had these people start telling on themselves, being a lot more vocal about what it is that they were doing, their positions, and drawing their lines sort of in the sand. So I think it's less, hey, they were never like this, and more of the climate changed a little bit, and they felt like they absolutely had to do this. And sometimes it's not really sincere. It's more to save their own bacon, their own asses, and
oink oink.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's more or less what it is. So
wait, did you just say a cancel pig's trying to save its own bacon?
Yes, I did. Pun intended. Pun.
Mark Wade's had a history of absolutely appalling behavior in the workplace, from smashing holes in walls, throwing shit, to literal tantrums on the ground like a fucking toddler, screaming tantrums that made him blacklisted by Hollywood because they didn't want to work with this fucking psycho, which made it very difficult for him to get some work because people didn't want to work with this fucking psycho. He's got a massive history of it. Look into it. You'll find some really interesting stories. Look into how Mark Wade thinks about women and behaves towards women. There'll be fun stories there.
There you go.
What did he do? Didn't he fire a black woman so he could hire his girlfriend at a job? Did he do that?
Yeah, history is not kind to Mark Wade.
Oh, yeah, I think he did that.
CJ with a 5-star Alpha Core was awesome. Would love to see a Lillian book. Where the Saskas at? The Saskas are working. They've been doing lots of work. In fact, I'm looking at this Universe Bible, man. These guys are active. They are fucking active right now in our Universe Bible. They're hard workers, man. One of the best decisions I fucking made, bringing them on, because they know what the fuck they're doing. So them being our lore masters and mistresses, whatever you want to call them, they're so good. So good. So yeah, there's that. Shout out to them. Creative with a 5 says we're hamster core and chewing cables is not what we do. Well, our hamsters are working. Ain't got time to chew cables. Whoa, gifted 20 from Juggernauts. That's a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. That's not cheap, by the way. 20 gifted stuff. No. Shout out to Juggernauts.
That's a hundo. That's a hundo.
Yeah, that's hella money. So shout out to him. Bear Beard Whiskers with a 5. Saw a creator breakdown because his DC heroes desecrated. Told him stop it, keep having fun. Otherwise, they have power over you. Well, look, you got to check out kind of like what Chuck and those guys did. Like Chuck won't even watch he won't watch these movies. He won't do any of that shit. He's just like, fuck it.
He'll take the royalty check.
Write me. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Write me the royalty check. So yeah, it's just one of those things that well, that's more or less what happens. It's less the setup of obviously when you're working for another company, that company is going to essentially own that deal, but it's more of you have to have, like, the company itself has to care about the characters, and they just fucking don't. And that's what you get. You get bastardization. So sucks. And expect. If they haven't got around to your favorite character, give them some time. They will get there.
It's coming.
God's Bad Karma with a 20 says, just got my CGC Alpha Core today. Shout out to you. Says they have to bury me with that Chuck Dixon signature. I love it. As immortalized in the Riververse, the Silverback win. So many people ask about that, but I do appreciate you grabbing those CGCs. A lot of those have gone out in the wild. More of those are being delivered.
I think mine shipped. Mine has shipped. My CGC slabs.
There you go. There you go. Okay. We have a slightly personal with a 5. You look like Wonder Twins in those shirts. Color you big. It says anyway. Happy.
Oh, which one's Eric and which one's Zaz?
Yeah. Which one? We're the same person. So yeah. What's up, Gabe El Taib? Colorist for ISOM says, "Hell Eric, great show as always. Please check out Big Man Comics and order my graphic novel, co-created by Superman himself, Dean Cain. We talked about that in our stream not too long ago. Go check that out if you have not already." Says All American Lawman. Today it comes with Eric's highest recommendation. Yes. Please go grab that if you have not already. Dean Cain, Gabe El Taib, All American Lawman. Shout out to Gabe, by the way. Zion with a $10 super sticker. Appreciate that. We got Josh Kelsey, no message, and a 20. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. We have a barbecue piss with a 10. Says, "I'm a hood nigga from Compton, but I've been labeled alt-right. Just for being a Christian youth minister who says stop pushing this progressive bullshit on people's kids." Well, look,
I tell you what, the alt-right's getting real fucking diverse, mate.
Diverse, ain't it? Man, gay folks are in it, fucking
black, Muslim, Mexicans,
everybody's
Asians, you name it, they're all in now.
Everybody's a part of it. Let these idiots fucking tell it. So yeah, it's just a bus term. It's just a term that, like I say, just a reflex to say, hey, what's the term that everybody thinks is bad? Here it is. Okay, you said Miles Morales, and therefore you're a Nazi.
I said it's a compliment. If you get called something like that, it's a compliment now.
Oh, effectively, yeah.
Because it means they have nothing to actually argue with you about. They have no argument to come out with you.
Yeah.
So if you've been branded an Islamophobe, you're doing something right. Keep going. Keep going, dude.
Facts. A Big Bone with a 20 says, "I'm willing to accept the hate I'll get for this, so I'm going to have the balls to tell you now. I'm against and I condemn all the bad things that everyone agrees are bad. I know it's dangerous, but I had to speak to. Hey, man, Big Bone.
Words of violence, man. Words of violence.
You're a brave man for doing that, because nobody would ever do anything like that. And you're really putting yourself on the line by condemning things that are not good. So you're brave, you're stunning, you deserve admiration and articles wrote by CBR and Comics Beat and all that. You deserve all of it for taking such a stand against all the bad things. So
yeah, I'm against the bad things. Stunning and brave.
Very brave, very stunning. Chuck Keyworth with a 48 months says DC is rotten top to bottom, just like Disney and Twitter. Received my read and collect Alpha Core today. Nice, shout out. 4 years, be great. Oh, 48 months. That is 4 years.
Yeah, 48.
Jesus, it's a long fucking time, man. Shout out to Chuck for being a member for that long. Time flies, doesn't it? And appreciate you getting to read and collect bundle of Alpha Core. Can't wait for you to actually, dive in. And I know you'll love it, man. I know you'll love it. Okay, we have Gabe again with a 10 says, "I'd love to ask Mark Wade lefties if Superman would read genderqueer to school children. I of course say no. I love to hear their answer. Order Dean Cain, All American Lawman now at Big Man Comics. Go to bigmancomics.com and go check that out. But yeah, I mean, that's a tactic. I mean, making these guys just have to flat out say what it is that they would do, for sure. Avery with a 10 says, "If you're looking for sympathy, I don't have any. What I do have are a particular set of skills I required for a very long career, skills that make me a nightmare for people like you." I respect it.
Taken.
Haunted with a $20 super sticker. I appreciate that so much. We have James Watkins with a 5 deceased in DC versus vampires with stories that had classic comic feels and a big heroics and sacrifice, and always Bane and Alfred holding it down. It was Tom Taylor that did.
Tom
Deceased,
Taylor
right?
did Deceased, and it was good.
What a fall!
It was
break,
good.
huh?
I know. I thoroughly enjoyed Deceased. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did Injustice too, right?
Tom Taylor.
It did Injustice too, right?
I was never interested in the Injustice stuff. I'm tired of bad
Evil
Superman
Superman,
trope.
yeah.
I'm bored of that.
I think he did that. I'm pretty sure he did that.
But it was well regarded. It was well regarded.
Yeah. And then Tim Drake's
he went, I got a great idea. Let's make Jonathan Kent suck a dick.
And then go around like how I don't know if he's actually gay. Like I guess
Tom Taylor.
He's
he's a married straight white male.
So he's just GHEY.
Yeah, he's playing the game. He's making himself trying to be as cancel proof as possible, being a straight white male in the comic book industry.
Imagine being that fucking cooked, man, going around fucking wearing that gay S on the chest. Fuck.
He might as well. It might be S for do not cancel me.
Yeah. Oh man, what a guy, huh? Sequential Treasures is what a 10 says. A virtue coin for those who don't like to eat but like to feel self-validated. Virtue coin, the choice of all cat food eating comic pros. Hashtag cancel pig. It's everywhere. Yeah. I mean, you can't eat it. Best you can do is get a headline and then pull a mags and say, hey, it's not a fan.
Yeah.
Hey,
I can't pay my rent or eat because I'm a fucking mitigated failure. Pay for my shit.
Go fund me.
PSP, calm down.
Link right here. It's in the description because I'm always going to need money. So
perpetual GoFundMe.
Just please,
give me money.
Please give money. It's funny. It was because the other guy, what's his name? Joe Glass. He obviously chimed in on this whole
another council pig.
Yeah. And it's like he's the same way. These guys have no self-awareness, at least in that regard, that I've done videos on him where he's, hey guys, I can't sell these fucking books.
Yeah. I gotta get about the story. I'm a failed comic book writer, and I went to a convention and threatened to burn it down if there were Trump supporters there or some shit. I also joined in the attempted cancellation with Mags and Kwanzaa of Sean Gordon Murphy. The one where Sean Gordon Murphy got his lawyers onto Mags to shut the fuck up. Joe Glass that is blacklisted in the industry. Yeah. Another psycho nobody. Another psycho nobody.
Is that
I'm gay. Buy my books.
That's basically what, no, that's his approach. Hey, look, I got co-signed by Tom King, and I'm like,
that's
Dunny Case.
Probably the worst thing you could possibly get right now.
And it's like, that one time that he was talking about, hey man, I can't move these books, and I'm paying for storage. Please consider buying a book. And I'm like, bro, y'all are hustling backwards, bro. Like y'all are trying to get support based on charity, bro. Like that's not the fucking point, Joe Glass and Tim Sheridan. That's not the fucking point. Like the point isn't for people to support you for charity, bro. Like
buy my Green Lantern book. He sucks cock. That's not, these aren't great selling points to people, Not
at all.
You don't want to talk to us about characterization, good story. No. Hey, let's own the Comics Gate chuds because I'm gay.
That's their approach. That's the business plan.
Buy all my variant covers because I'm fucking bro. Oh no, sorry, I'm giving them all away to Don't Get AIDS.
Yeah. What was it? What was the
It was the Elton John AIDS Foundation.
Yeah, for AIDS.
Yeah, he made all the profits.
Yeah,
so they cannot sing a penny. Yeah,
for his royalties, and you got to profit to get royalties, and he's not profiting off of that book. So Elton John's not getting shit. But it was
Those AIDS victims are getting nothing.
What was it? No, it was what was the term that he used? He used a stigma. Remember, it was AIDS stigma was what it was. That I was like, whatever the fuck that means. It's what the profits that he got the royalty with.
It means that he got a time machine and he went back to 1988, and then he went, oh, hey, there's a bit of a stigma about AIDS. And then he came back to 2023 and went, hey guys, there's a stigma about AIDS. No, not really. It's actually pretty treatable nowadays with the right medication.
That's what it was. Elton John, AIDS stigma, the royalties.
Maybe. And this has got absolutely nothing to do with Tim Sheridan or his charity whatsoever. This is just a generalized statement. Maybe don't be so fucking promiscuous and actually know where you've been.
That's works better than every stigma.
I don't know. Maybe that's just crazy.
Just an idea. Avery Parker with a 10. If you stop leering at Bloodruth now, that will be the end of it. So I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will redefine the worst statistic for you.
Oh, if you stop leering. Oh no, always leering.
Always
leering.
Always. Shout out Avery Parker, man. You know, I love to see you here, man. Quatrina VR with a 1 month. Shout out to you being a member. My man's Bruce with a 5 says 5 CGCs coming in later this week. Hell fucking yeah. Shout out to you. Let's fucking go. Shout out Bruce. Larry with a 20 months says comics are our literature. Comics are mythology. Comics are movies. Comics are radio. Support independent comics. Support the Rippaverse. Shout out Larry. And yeah, man, we're trying to build something special here. It's not too late. You're actually at the ground level. We have even a great bundle for you over there at Rippaverse.com. If you go to the Alpha Core campaign, if you want to get Isom 1, Isom 2, as well as Alpha Core. Barbecue Pits with a 20 says my favorite part of Alpha Core is when Brian Solari had his knee on the back of Santuan. Then Altona and Bloodroof started a modern day civil rights movement. Modern day civil rights movement with the citizens of Flores Park. And they were marching. Fists were in the air because Santuan couldn't breathe. And Brian wouldn't get his knee off his head. And it suffocated him. It wasn't fentanyl or anything.
I was gonna say, what's the autopsy gonna show?
It was because Brian was so strong, and then Altona and Bloodruth hands fit. They started Black Lives Matter. 2 women. They're not lesbians though, so I guess that doesn't count. But then they had their fist in the air and started marching down the streets of the affluent Flores Park, saying Santuan Lives Matter. That was a great part of Isom, man. That was one of my favorite parts.
Mine, yeah,
one of my favorite parts as well. Barbecue.
Mine was when he said, "I am a part of the American Society of Magical Negroes." That was my favorite part.
That was fair. I remember when Santuan said that. That was oh man, beautiful moment, very impactful. Literal.
I cried.
Literal black boy magic.
Cried.
Black boy magic. I guess that's what it is. So that's what they meant when they said black girl. It was the American Society. I think it's all starting to make sense for me now. Okay. I got it. I got you. I got you. John with a 20 says Ripper and as you guys rock. I did my first book signing last weekend. Nice. Well, shout out to you. I'm a self-publisher. I made some money. There you go. Thanks for the encouragement. If I can do what others can do it, I'm giving my kids some comics for Christmas. Hey, shout out. And I appreciate you for that. And look, man, I love to see people doing their own thing and seeing a little success, making a little money. There's room for it. If people enjoy it, they'll flock to it. So keep doing your thing, man. Keep grinding and keep doing your thing. We got Trey Gordon with a 5 says, hey, Eric, what program did you use to make your universe, Bob? I'm wondering because I'm looking to create my own and I'm looking for suggestions. There's plenty of little stuff, like you got your OneNotes out there that you if you're talking digital stuff that's available. There's a few others, some wikis that you can utilize, pages and stuff that you can utilize, but there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them out there. It just depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. Are you sharing it among other people? Obviously, you're going to need that sort of functionality. But yeah, there's OneNotes out there like that. Programs like there's another one, OneNote Alternative. I'm thinking of it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Is one that you can kind of use to keep up with everything, makes the entry easy, and again, you can share it among other people. So if you have other folks that are in charge of the entries, y'all can add it to the same document. So that's something that will work for you. So shout out Trey. I appreciate you. Okay, so we're already 2 hours in. Let me ask you this: as what all? Because I know you're playing. What survival game was that you were recently playing?
Mist Survival.
Okay,
yeah, gonna be doing that after the show.
Okay, how you liking the new shit with it?
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah. The new update. This is a one-man guy. This is one dude making this game.
Oh wow!
And it's he's been doing a great. Yeah, it's been going for a few years. I think it's 2018 when it first came out, and he incrementally adds to it. But this latest update that he's done has been actually really good. So I had quite a bit of fun last night. Did a stream, went to the gym, came back, did another little stream, went to bed, did this stream. Gonna do another stream.
Yeah, you were up early as far. Like, does he not understand he has ripping a silverback later? Because I saw like your lighting was weird and shit. Because it was late. It was I guess
early morning. Yeah.
It's late for me, early for you. And I was like, it's like fucking 1 o'clock. Like, what the fuck, my time? Like, so it's like he was up early.
This is how you do it, Eric. This is how you do it. Hey Google, set an alarm for 7 p.m. tomorrow. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
that's how you do
your
it.
Alarm set for tomorrow at 7 p.m.
You were rocking and rolling. You're rocking and rolling, man. I respect it. I did see you playing. But I know you talked about that. I remember watching the trailers, if you can, just for the audience, because I don't know what the fuck happened with it.
Oh, I know.
That fucking game.
The day before.
I remember we were talking about that and the intrigue when they initially launched it. So break that shit down to me. What the fuck happened with that damn game?
Well, if you remember, I don't know if you can remember, but I contacted you like a couple of years ago and said, hey, they're releasing, this is coming out, I think in March 2022.
Yeah.
This could be good for us to play together.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
So you're like, just keep us informed. So that was like, I don't know, nearly 2 years ago, because obviously we had to get to March. And then they delayed it, saying, we're delaying it a year to March 2023 because we want to move it from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. And then all kinds of shit started coming out about the company. They started using the game as a way to promote a shitty little game that they'd made, which then release and not support and then fucking just abandon. Then it came out that they hadn't even got the trademark for the day before. So that put the game in. So Steam actually ended up removing them from the wish list, upcoming games, because they didn't even have.
So did they go through another publisher before you, or was it?
Oh no, it was always them. It was always them. Okay. Fantastic was the main company.
So they published
owned by this couple of brothers. Okay. And then they were like asking people to say, do you know what one of the most fulfilling thing is? Working for us for free. So they were asking for volunteers to come work on the game. Unpaid volunteers to come work on the day before. All the font that they used was taken directly from The Last of Us. It's exactly The Last of Us font. All kinds of weird shit. And the more it went on, the more it looked like this is just does this game actually exist? Because they would share vertical slices, which would look good because it's a vertical slice.
Mm-hmm.
But then they would show some gameplay, which clearly wasn't a vertical slice, and it would look so different and so dubbed down comparative to what you'd seen. Then they were just like, what is going on with this game? This looks like a scam. And then it got delayed again from March 2023 to November 2023. November came around. They said we're delaying it again until December. And they put this December launch on it for early access. And I thought at the last minute they were going to again delay it. But they released it. And this MMO survival game released as a extraction shooter, and people are like, what? This has been touted as a survival MMO open world, but it's actually just a basic ass extraction shooter, virtually no zombies in the world, no verticality in the buildings, in the skyscrapers, everything's just ground level. Can't go past ground level on anything. And it was just awful. Just bugged to fuck. No real replay. Where's this going to go? And then 4 days after I did one stream, I was done. Thank you, done. 4 days afterwards, they said we're shutting down. Fantastic. Yeah. But it looks like they've potentially shut down Fantastic, but they've moved all their assets or something to another company that they own.
Oh, that's funny money.
It's all very scammy. Yeah,
right there. That's the Disney special.
Moving the money.
That's the funny money right there. That's interesting.
So so the game is no longer going to be supported after 4 days. No add-ons, no extras, no patches, nothing. I think they're hoping that somebody's going to come buy what they've got,
some shit. Yeah,
and try to do something with it. But if I wouldn't fucking touch that with a barge pole. There's another game which is coming out end of next year. Different company completely. If I just bring up Sunday Funday, called Once Human. Okay. Looks similar, but looks actually good.
Survival?
So yes, like a survival, looter,
my alley.
PvP, zombie. It's called almost. Let me just get it right. Once Human. You can wishlist it on Steam. Coming next year. There's a trailer out. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's got Q3 2024 planned release.
Looks up my alley.
Yeah. So that looks like
maybe that'll scratch the itch.
Yeah. The day before was meant to be, but the whole thing was exactly what pretty much everyone thought it was going to be. A monumental. At the very, very generous, if you're being very generous, just completely mismanaged garbage. But I think the reality is they were looking to try and make bank with it, and maybe just keep people to try and support it every now and again and run away with money. But Steam are handing out refunds. They were handing out refunds, so I don't think they're gonna get the money from this.
That's fucking. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Because I remember us talking about that. Like, I was like, "Oh, this is right in my alley. I'll be into this." And then and then I saw you pop up. I saw a couple of tweets going out about because first thing that I saw of the game was somebody, and I don't know if it was an ad or what it was, posting about it, and then there was a community note that said this was marketed as a survival.
An MMO survival,
but it's an extraction shooter.
Extraction shooter, yeah. That was actually fantastic. That tweeted out after 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, the day before releases today in early access, and their own tweet got community noted.
That's impressive.
4 days later, never mind the day before. 4 days later,
I never understand how something like that happens. I mean, just because Well, obviously the bait and switch alone will just fucking ruin your company, but it's like, man, just a little bit of transparency will benefit them. Just a little bit. Like if you're like the minute you were changing course, if you absolutely had to do it, that's when you let the audience know. You don't fucking say we're gonna market the bitch one way and then we're gonna literally put out a completely different game. Like that's whose bright idea that was.
There were channels that would do videos on it, on the progression and essentially what the scam was looking like. And I was watching one of them. I'd watched like a few of their videos from this specific channel. I was watching one of them, and then suddenly I fucking appear.
Oh, nice.
Going fucking pronouns or something
Nice.
like that, and you going, oh, nothing like some baby rage. I'm like, dude, how dare you? How dare you? So I thought, there's nothing funnier than watching somebody's video and then suddenly you appear on it.
Yeah.
Screaming pronouns or boring or something.
Yeah. Damn, man. These fucking funny money, man. That's what we call it. World Anvil is one. I like every note though. Says True Believer with a 2. Appreciate that. We got Hot Dice with a 5. Says my favorite part of Alpha Core was when Braxwell said you need to do better, Meth Gary, after he kicked him out the Capitol window on January 6th. Yeah, that was a good part as well. Very, 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 very impactful and meaningful. Shout out Yellow Flash. I see you just popped up in the chat. Shout out. Oh, okay. So outside of playing Myst, what else you got going?
Well, it's Christmas, man. It's Christmas. I'm gonna be going away the weekend to spend time with family. Come back a little bit before the end of the year. I think I'm gonna do like a little wrap-up video of the year on Saturday before I go away. Just to sort of recap everything that's kind of gone on. But I'm gonna be playing some Myst Survival. After Christmas, I just need to see the new year. New year, big things. I mean, I've been starting on my journey. This year, I've made some good progress. But next year, it's the real fucking deal.
Oh, yeah.
I got a new gym I'm going to.
Oh, there you go.
Getting a personal trainer when I'm there.
Ooh.
We're going to be calorie counting everything. It's going to all be recorded. Everything's going to be fully recorded. We're going to be going on a humongous drive next year.
I love that.
And there's been nice little transformation so far, but there's going to be a big transformation.
Kicking up a notch.
Oh, it's going way beyond the notch. It's going way beyond the notch. It's going full on, all in, big time. So I'm sort of, I know it sounds bad because we still got Christmas to come and family and friends and all that, but I'm sort of just looking at the beginning of next year, trying to look down next year, and just getting ready for this big effort, this big push. I got plans. I want to do things, and I need to get this all in order to do it. Summer 2025 is the sort of, that's where I want to be. When I say finished, I want to be at the ideal.
Gotcha.
By then, but that means that 2024 has got to be
gotta work.
a monumental year. And life's pretty good, man. Life's pretty good when you smell the roses. I'm very lucky and very fortunate. Not just to be able to do streams and videos with wonderful people, Real BBC, FNT, yourself, others. Met some great people along the way, and it's you got to take stock and actually appreciate this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I do wake up and I am just sort of blessed and just in awe of what I'm able to do for a living. I can go, hey, I'm going to play video games for cash today. I'm going to make a video and have 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 people watch it. You know, it's insane. It's a crazy life, and it's a life you gotta really take stock of and just be thankful and grateful for.
Absolutely.
And that's obviously because of audiences like you that have afforded me to do this, which means that next year there's a big focus. I've done videos, I've done streams. I need to shake some hands. I need to shake some hands. I need to meet some people.
Oh yeah.
You know, I need to get out there and
as that Ripicon confirmed.
Oh hell yeah! Do you know what I want to do? Legit. I don't know if it's going to be next year or 2025. I'm telling you, I'm going to come over to Dallas.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go into the warehouse. I'm gonna pack for a day.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna pack some books for a day. You know,
let's do it.
I'm gonna pack some comics. I'm gonna get some comics out there for some people.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna,
we can get some cool content out of that too.
That's what I'd love to do. That when on a campaign, get a campaign going.
Let's fucking do it. Yeah,
be put to work.
Let's do it.
Get Brandon, Caro, whoever, Adam, whoever.
Let's do it.
I'm your bitch for the day.
I'm 100% there. Let's make it happen.
No, I'm not. I ain't signing no fucking stuff which I don't deserve to be on. All right. I might bring a plushie or two over for them though.
Let's do it. I'm 100% game for that. Nah, man. I love to hear that. I want you to keep. I want you to keep rocking and rolling, man. And man, I love to see it. We see it. Like I told you, man. I'm not even joking. You contact us. You're like, hey, man, I got this shirt. I need a couple sizes down. I'm not fucking joking. Fucking hit us up, and we are sending that bitch the day.
You know, I pay my way.
Man,
and I pay my way because I'm a customer, dude.
Yeah,
you know, there's no sort of like pride. I'm a customer. You know, you're a businessman. I'm a customer. There's a relationship which goes there. I'm sort of between sizes at the moment. I'm like between sizes, a little bit too for one, not quite enough for another. But that's a good place to be in because that means next year.
Yeah.
You know, by the end of fucking January, by the middle of February, I'm that one that I'm not quite is there, and then I'm pushing for the next. You know.
Yeah, let's fucking do it, man. I love to hear that, man. Whatever you need, obviously from us, man, you got it, man. But yeah, that's you know, being able to you know be able to move around, you know, and definitely as you're seeing your progress, man, it's just something fucking about it, man. It's just something about it can be motivating in itself, man. But to hear that you're kicking it up a fucking another notch, man, I fucking love to hear that, man. As a guy that just, you know, I love to hear people bettering themselves, man, and to see that progress, man. I've
got a whole new gym. I'm still got my 24-hour one because I work crazy hours, obviously. But I got a whole new one that I'm starting off at, and that's got a bunch of brand new PTs coming in the new year.
Okay.
So some of them I might actually know from previous place. So okay. It's a matter of finding the right person who can push me the way that I can't push me. I'm pushing right now, but you always tend to push within a certain limit for yourself. Yeah. And then when you get somebody else, when you get a trained professional along, then they can do that extra. I'm even thinking about hiring a nutritionist as well to go with certain aspects of it. And
see that,
and that's because people like you, people like the audience out there have allowed me to do this sort of stuff. But yeah, love it, man. And if I can do it, anyone can fucking do it. Believe me. I mean, the difference between December 2022 to December 23 is insane.
Yeah.
And even I didn't even start really sort of going for it until like May, June of this year. So yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you get the right mentality going. And
I fucking love it, man. Hell yeah, man. Well, keep that shit up, man. I love to see it. I fucking love to see it, man. And like I said, man, seriously, whatever you need, sizes down, man. We're gonna always have you back. You're back on that, man. I fucking love to hear that. We got a True Believer says stay natural ass.
Natty. I mean, I could. I can't do that for free. Can't do that for fucking free. You crazy?
They got to pay for that.
Gotta pay for that shit.
Delta 999 report card with a 5. So what's a good way to find an artist? They are everywhere. You can go to the art station, bro. Like they're literally everywhere. To find, you can even go to ripperverse.com and go to our fan art contest. We have all the credits there, and you can go find some bugging artists there. They're fucking everywhere. There's some talented guys out there. And by the way, I don't know if I've announced this officially, but I should here. The project that I'm not gonna tell you guys the project, but the contest winner, Michael, we have him officially signed on a project. Let's just say that. And it is interiors. So yeah. I don't know if I've technically ever said that. But I guess you got to hear first on Ripping the Silverback. Maybe that's why you got to be here, because you never know what NDAs I might break. We got Brent Wolf with a 50 says, as best be packing his own Silverback books and slab. Brent Wolf, man, I love to see here. $50 is not fucking cheap, man. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by, man. And whoa, check that out. This psycho son of a bitch right here, and fucking ass just gifted 20 subs. It's a lot of fucking money, ass. To the fucking
Kara got one. Fucking hell.
She did. Yeah. Kara got one. What did Alex? Alex got one too.
And Alex.
The whole Riververse team just got a membership from Az. Shout out. Welcome Alex and Kara finally being a member of the channel. So shout out to them. Man. Alex says he finally got one.
Finally.
Shout out to all the new 20 gifted memberships. Yeah, we'll be paying it forward because Az will stream tomorrow, and then I'll go fucking give the subs right back to him. So shout out to Az, man. Appreciate you for that. And I welcome all the new members, including the ones that work for me. So that works. Young Sykes at the Real BBC Live in Dallas, Texas. Let's go. If you want to make it happen, I'm here. Garrett's here as well. We can rig some shit up and make it happen. Let's do it. Young Sykes, 37 months. That's a while. We got King Rokai with 22 months. Let's get buffed together. Az and Ripper, shout out. Well, I'm just gonna be fucking doing the same thing I do, boxing and fucking running. That's just my work. It's worked for me. It's kept me in shape. Boxing and sprinting, not just fucking running just to be running, but I sprint a lot. So plan to do even more of that going into 2024.
Running after those council pigs.
Yeah. Chasing the council pigs. Squealing council pigs. Those guys are fucking they're slimy, man. They can move. Yeah. They can move. Got to be in shape. Udite with a 10 says, woke companies out here asking for free volunteers and begging for sympathy customers to pay for storage. Ripper offers Az free merch and Az insists on paying. What a picture of the industry. Well, that's actually a great point, because these guys ain't paying for shit. They're pirated though. They're pirated, and they'll tweet about it. So that's a good point. Brass Monkey with a 5 gifted. Shout out to you, Brass Monkey. Thank you so much. We have Graph Web with a 2 says every time, every stream, hashtag cancel Disney Plus.
Dude, I have. Okay.
Caffeinated Wolf, but Bears Andrew says with a 5, don't give no free lunch to that penny pinch and ginger. My paid, you talk about Alex, my paid membership is going on for 3 years, $5 and 27 days. Yeah, he did kind of freeload there. Shout out my Bears Andrew, creative manager, editor, does it all for the Riververse, man. Shout out, love him to death, and everybody, the whole entire team's here, Sheep City, and of course community managers here in the building as well. The entire team. I saw Jordan here. Everybody's always here. Kara says she's a freeloader.
Absolutely.
She did get a gift sub from Az. Okay, guys, we hit the 2.5 hour mark, but at least we read super chats before we hit 2.5 hours. Yes. This go around. Q Ball also said, I don't need free handouts over here. Almost 4 years of a member. I love you both. Hell, everyone. Merry Christmas, Q Ball, man. You know we love to see you here, man. Big shout out to you. As far as me, guys, I'm just working on Rippaverse stuff all day long. We're getting these orders out. So we appreciate all the support there. But there's a lot of let's just say I did get an email during this stream, and there's some NDAs that are running up. Let's just say that.
Just a little bit of breaking news, by the way. Warner are possibly in talks with Paramount to merge.
That's massive news.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the Wrap covered it. I'm looking at it right now. Wow.
Paramount are in trouble. Big trouble. Big fucking
Both
trouble.
of them in trouble. That's what I don't understand. Like,
well, Warner's what, 50 billion in debt.
In debt, yeah. So, I mean, would they want to inherit that? I guess.
They could merge into the ultimate failure.
The ultimate collection of debt. Between those two. That's
I remember Paramount are the second lowest streaming service. Second lowest.
Yeah, I guess
That is
yeah.
pretty
Someone says in the
special.
chat, let's be broke together. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that's I guess that's the goal.
So the Harry Mags then.
Now that'll be the next first move, and Heather Antos will be a editor or some shit over there to really take it to the next level.
One can only hope.
I don't get it. What
are you gonna do? What seriously? What are you gonna do? You gonna take Star Trek and fuck it up even more? It's fucked up beyond recognition.
I don't know, man. I don't know the point of that. It'll be interesting. It's unclear whether WBD would buy Paramount Global. How do they have money to buy it?
Well, I mean, as you know, corporations can just keep.
Yeah, that's. I guess you can. They can literally monetize their debt.
Yeah,
they can literally do that. They're allowed to do that. That's impressive, man. These motherfuckers ain't got no money, and they're like, "Fuck it, y'all ain't making money, we ain't making money."
Wish I could do that. That'd be fucking great.
Oh man,
Instead of looking for a little house, I'll be like, "Hey, I'll take that big house. Can't afford it. It's gonna plunge you into monumental amounts of debt. But can I have it? I'm a corporation. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, yeah, sure."
That's impressive. My man Gary is in the chat. He said Paramount Plus is on its way out. Yeah. True Believer says, will this be their final form? No, it's a fusion of debt is what it is.
I think they can get lower.
We're reaching new floors is what it is just saying. Reaching new floors.
Disney Plus will be knocking on the door soon again. Can we come?
Hey man, we might as well. We're all fucking losing
billions in debt as well.
We're losing billions of dollars. Fuck it. Let's do it together, man. Holy shit. That's impressive. David, I appreciate you becoming a member as well. As True Believer says, corporate accounting in the dark is the dark magic. Yeah, it's impressive what these guys can do because that I don't understand. Nobody is responding according to this report by the Wrap, but it's like it's unclear whether WBD would buy Paramount Global or its parent company, National Amusements. But it's like, what money does Warner Brothers Discovery have to purchase unless they're giving it away? Which, I mean,
what, like CW-esque?
Yeah, like
you can have it if you take on our debts.
Just fucking take the shit. And maybe that's what's happening.
You got a crazy out of control person in the chat.
This is impressive. Barbecue Pits with $100 and says Rippaverse supporters have capital. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's because we've got jobs.
That's true.
And not GoFundMe's.
These people are actually working. What the fuck is going on with it? I'm very intrigued. I'm gonna look more into that. Maybe I'll do some content around that later. Barbecue pits, that ain't cheap, by the way. That $100 is a lot of fucking money. You're too honest to understand it, sir, says True Believer. Yeah, it's funny money. I know that for sure. Says Zaslav is spoken to Shari Redstone, who owns Paramount Global parent company, which is again, what's the name of that fucking company? National Amusements. They own Paramount Global. So yeah, I guess they're just gonna combine their debt and or in talks to combine. How did that conversation happen?
We're shit, you're shit. Let's be shit together. I am shit as you are shit, and we are shit, and we are shit together.
Ah, man. That's incredible. Okay, guys. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna tend to some work. I'm gonna get some stuff done, man. It's been a crazy show. I appreciate everybody that's hung out. We, of course, next week we'll be on As channel Crimson Shadow. I appreciate that too. Saying Hell to Riververse. We'll be on As channel next week. Same time, 1:30 Central. That is.
I will be in a hotel room.
Oh shit! Yeah,
but it'll be all good. I'll be in a hotel room, but it'll be all good.
We'll make it happen. Yeah, because it is the day after Christmas. I just thought about that.
A couple of days after Christmas, but I'm coming back on the 28th. The next one's the 27th. But it's fine. It's fine because it's like 7:30 at night when it starts for me, so that's fine. I'll have plenty of time to say goodbye to the family.
Damn. Well, there you have it. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are incredible. But we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate you becoming a Lil Mac. Hey, it's me and HD. Thank you. But we gotta get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. And of course, we'll be all between the both of us. We'll be streaming through on our channels and doing shows and doing whatever random shit that we got. You'll catch me on either of our channels, man. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Peace out.